And now to another developing story, and the NFL upholding the 4-game suspension of New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady.
The Super Bowl MVP had appealed his punishment, saying he did nothing wrong in the scandal over deflated footballs. CBS 4 sports anchor Jim Barry is here with the latest. Jim.
Well, guys, the NFL says it has more evidence that Brady tried to cover his tracks. Today's ruling sets the stage for a showdown in federal court between the league and one of its biggest stars. In upholding Brady's 4-game suspension, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell pointed to the fact that the quarterback destroyed his cell phone, which may have had incriminating texts between him and the Patriots equipment staff. Although Brady met with NFL investigator Ted Wells in March, Goodell says he didn't tell the league about the phone until June. Goodell says this, quote, went beyond a mere failure to cooperate with the investigation and supported a finding that he sought to hide evidence of his own participation in the scheme.
I have great admiration and respect for Tom Brady, but the rules have to be enforced on a uniform basis.
The Patriots grudgingly accepted a $1 million fine and the loss of draft picks after the NFL concluded that the team deflated footballs in its AFC title romp over Indianapolis. Doing so would have given Brady a better grip on the football. All along, the 3-time Super Bowl MVP has maintained his innocence.
I have no knowledge of anything. I have no knowledge of any wrongdoing of any. Nobody did anything wrong. Yeah, I'm very comfortable saying that. I'm very comfortable saying that.
Brady now might sue the NFL, claiming that his involvement in Deflategate was never proven and that Goodell was not an impartial judge in his appeal. Now, Brady's agent Don Yee is ripping the NFL appeals process, calling it a sham. Brady now will miss the Pats' first 4 regular season games. The Dolphins might hope he gets an injunction, though, to keep playing, only to then lose in federal court. That could knock Brady out of their games in Week 8 or Week 16. I'm Jim Barry, CBS 4 Sports.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. Let's turn to Erica now, who is a licensed attorney in the state of New York. A lot of questions that have popped up out of this thing. First of all, these text messages. Why didn't the league try to get them early on, like with a subpoena or something?
Right. Well, when you mention subpoena, we're talking about something that's related to a court case. That is producing documents in court. This case would be text messages or actually appearing in court. Here, though, this is a private investigation with the NFL. At this point, it is not a case that is in court. And there are lawyers involved, of course. When anything upon a scale like this, there will be lawyers involved, but lawyers have not filed any sort of case. That would be a criminal case, a civil case, and sometimes subpoenas are attached to government agencies. So they may have the opportunity to file subpoenas, but here it is really early in the process to say, you know, a subpoena would be filed. Now, that does not mean that it couldn't come up later, though.
Well, Jim mentioned the possibility that Tom Brady sues the league. Does he then open himself up to possibly having these texts be made public? Because, you know, once electronic messages are sent, they never really fully disappear.
Right. Well, there are a couple of options. You know, Jim mentioned this federal case, and that's where they talk about whether the league handled the investigation correctly in the appeals process. With that, they're not actually looking at the content of what Brady did. So under those circumstances is what really the league did. But there are other cases, including a defamation case, which might not be likely that Tom Brady would want to pursue this. But say he's saying that his public image was just so deteriorated and played in a false light because of this. In a defamation case, then there could be pretrial discovery, and that's where the emails could come out. And that is probably something that Tom Brady might want to avoid.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if this is the last of Deflategate, or if we'll be seeing more about this. Erica, thanks for that legal perspective.
Absolutely.